Ryan Casey, the boyfriend of the murdered Ashling Murphy, for the first time has spoken on an interview on a podcast with the Irish Mirror, with Paul Healy, a sort of scumbag reporter, news reporter from these mainstream media platforms, about the defamation case that he won over the BBC because they slandered him and said that he was far right and inciting hate and all this crazy lunatic sort of stuff. In my opinion, I don't think he went far enough. I would have said 10 times the worst shit that he said. Me personally, guys. I'm way more crazy than this guy, okay? But Ryan Casey's a great guy, gives inspiration to people. He understands what's going on, especially in his victim impact statement, which we're going to record and react to today. So hopefully everybody understands what is going on, because this is quite a hazy subject. He said in his impact statement about how this guy, Joseph Pushka, this scumbag Roma gypsy, came to Ireland, lived off welfare, never contributed, and then he ended up killing one of our own. In my personal opinion, the murder of Ashling Murphy in Ireland was an attack on Irish freedom, the attack on Irish people, the attack on the Irish culture, and a terrorist attack on the Irish nation, the nation of the Republic of Ireland. 100%. So let's hear exactly what he says about the defamation case.
Circumstances. But this aspect of your statement has been taken by others or censored for so long that I feel I should read it to you and ask you what if you want, what were your intentions behind it, or what do you mean from it, if that's okay with you. Yeah. It's only part of your, as I say, but you said, it just sickens me to the core that someone can come to this country, be fully supported in terms of social housing, social welfare and free medical care for over 10 years.
Disgraceful.
Over 10 years, never hold down a legitimate job and never once contribute to society in any way, shape or form, and can commit such a horrendous, evil act of incomprehensible violence on such a beautiful, loving and talented person who in fact worked for the state, educating the next generation and represented everything that is good about Irish society. I feel this country is no longer the country that Ashling and I grew up in.
100%.
And has officially lost its innocence when a crime of this magnitude can be perpetrated in broad daylight. This country needs to wake up. This time things have got to change. We have to once and for all start pushing the safety of not only Irish people, but everybody in this country who works hard, pays taxes, raises families and overall contributes to society first. I could go on.
I couldn't have said it better myself, my friend, Mr. Casey. Do you know, this lad, people have to understand, this is an Irishman here. He's 27, I think, when he took out the lawsuit in 2023. So he's young. At the time of the murder, 22, what was he, 26 years old? In his 20s, guys, mid-20s. This is a horrifically traumatic experience. He said it himself. He thought he was going to, grow old with his girlfriend. It was his flipping school sweetheart, his flipping secondary school sweetheart, we'll say. And all of a sudden, this scumbag comes here, never worked gainful employment, took everything from the state, gypsy, and then flip and kill someone. I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful. They should be closing the borders to anyone that flipping wants to come here that is like that. Matter of fact, that Joseph Pushka guy had a previous sexual assault, conviction in Slovakia, in Eastern Europe, from a 16-year-old. So not only is he's a predator, he's a pervert, he killed another woman. This guy has a history of sexual abuse. We could have seen that it would have happened in the future as well. They could have foretold that, but they decided not to. The Immigration Bureau of Ireland has blood on its hands, guys. The Immigration Department, absolutely. Whoever runs immigration in Dublin Airport, you have blood on your hands because of this. They could have just monitored and said, okay, this guy has a previous conviction, he's not allowed in the country. On top of it, his family burned his clothes, they covered up, they didn't speak to the Gardaí, they lied to the Gardaí, the police of Ireland. I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful. These families should be flipping in jail for 100 years and deported. Put them in some sort of dungeon, some sort of Eastern European gypsy, dungeon, gulag, whatever you want to say. Because, the crime is so heinous. And he was correct about it changed Irish society. Ryan Casey's a very smart guy, actually. When that happened, guys, it was so impactful on the Irish culture. It actually changed Irish society in a way that now, Irish women walking down the street aren't safe anymore. Because we have people like this out there. This didn't happen, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. come on, guys, this is crazy.
Want me to go on, or do you,
whatever you feel like, you have to. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that's an aspect of it.
Yeah.
And what did you mean when you said this is no longer the country that Ashling and I grew up in, for example, or what was the sentiment behind you saying those words?
It's a genuine feeling, I suppose, and it's a genuine realisation.
Yes.
And I think that's what I said in my statement, when something of this magnitude could be perpetrated in broad daylight, just a random act of senseless taking of an innocent.
Broad daylight as well. She was going to exercise. She was going to go for a run. I love, cardio. This is brilliant for your health. Come on, this is disgusting.
In life and the gravity of it also, and yeah, it just doesn't feel like it anymore. And the aftermath, and I feel ever since everything happened in January 2022, things have just gotten so much worse.
Oh yeah,
and it's not what I feel. I know, I know it has. And I've looked into it, and it's not. It was a feeling initially, but when you look into it and dig into it, it's a realisation.
100%. It's gotten worse. Now, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but it's gotten worse because immigration's gone crazy, and I'll show you guys evidence, factual evidence of that has actually come out, either this video or my next video after this. I'll show that. We're bringing in 10 times the amount of immigrants that the US brings in. We're bringing in a crazy amount of people, guys. Ukraine, Eastern Europe, North Africa, Albania, over in the Middle East. I mean, it's just too many people, guys. This is crazy. No background checks. It's gotten 10 times worse since 2022. Jeez.
So there will be people that will say sentiments of what you said there were far right.
Oh.
And then there are people who may be considered far right who took your statement and put it out on social media and said effectively, like, look, he's one of us, he's speaking what we're saying, and they use that to drive their own agenda. So in one sense, you had people who...
What an absolute dork. The lad giving this interview is a pencil neck dork who should not be given any interviews to any of this guy. He doesn't have the flipping respect. I wouldn't give him the respect to interview Ryan Casey.
Said we can't report this because it's a rally call to the far right and people who are anti-immigrant. And then you had people who were maybe quite far right, and I don't know if they share your sentiment, who literally did take it and exaggerate it and completely misinterpret it.
Yeah.
What was that like to see, it either cherry-picked or censored by, depending on whoever wanted to use it?
Yeah, but to be honest, and it is what it is, and I have no problem staying right.
My man. He just said it is what it is. I love it. Oh shit, this is gonna be a long day for the Irish Mirror. Long day for the news stations. Oh, it is what it is, come on.
To be honest, and it is what it is, and I have no problem staying right here right now. I stand over that statement even now today, more so than ever before.
Legend.
Ever before, I really do. And I don't think that I said there, to what you just read out, when I read out back in November 2023, I don't think there's a word of that is incitement to hatred or appealing to any of this far right stuff that is, everyone likes to call everyone nowadays that has an opposing opinion or any concerns about safety of the country and all this sort.
Oh shit, this is legendary. I didn't think this was going to be this juicy. This guy is a legend. Hold on. He said, yeah, anyone that has an opposing opinion is called far right now. What a legend. Oh shit, Ryan is a legend.
Any of this far right stuff that is, everyone likes to call everyone nowadays that has an opposing opinion or any concerns about safety of the country and all this sort of stuff. This is what's going on in the media. This is what frustrates me, and having to sit through that.
Oh shit! Look at this guy, Paul Casey. You can see his body language. He was like, oh, he starts rubbing his nose. Oh, they're scared. This is legendary. This is legend. Look at the body language when he said that. He was like, I can't believe Ryan Casey doubled down. Oh shit! Hey, Ryan Casey, if you're watching this, you're an absolute legend.
Everyone likes to call everyone nowadays that has an opposing opinion or any concerns about safety of the country and all this sort of stuff. This is what's going on in the media. This is what frustrates me, and having to sit through that for the last 3.5 years and not being able to even say anything or comment or give my 2 cents into what I actually meant, and having both sides run runaway trains what they think I meant and what this side think I meant. It's just, media needs to stop tarnishing people and labelling people with this far right rhetoric and far right this, far right that. There are people that have legitimate concerns, and they're great people. They're not far right people at all. What is far right? This is asking the dog. None of them can define what far right is. any of the people that were labelling people far right. This is what's going on, and it needs to stop. We need to stop labelling concerned citizens of this state who are working hard and contributing to society, but they don't get a say. So I don't think that's controversial at all. And going back,
what an absolute legend! Holy hell, my mind is just blown right now. He said, this is what the media does, and then this guy squirmed, the little dork squirmed in his seat. This is what the media does, 100%. They take a guy that got his girlfriend got murdered, his future wife, his future kids got killed as well. Let's call it how it is. And then, you're adding shit on the fire. You're adding fuel to the fire by calling him far right, this, that, all these sort of terms. And he just doubled down on it. He said they couldn't even describe or define what far right is in the doll. What an absolute legend. Oh, man. This guy needs to be like president or Taoiseach or something. That was class. That was straight class what he just said right there, lads. Oh, man. Big deal right there. He said, the state needs to stop labeling people who are hardworking, contributing to society as far right when they're just concerned citizens. 100%. It's not controversial at all. Not at all, guys. I'm controversial. I have my own YouTube channel. I'm controversial. He is not. He is completely correct. That's unbelievable.
Going back then to what my statement it meant, and why I stand by it more so than ever before, is I think it's a legitimate question, and I think at the time it was a question on the mind of many people, and even now more so than ever. It's a very basic question. Why was someone here who's not native to the country? I have no problem saying that. He was here for 10 years. I'm sure he got every opportunity to work and contribute.
Oh yeah.
And give back to society, and he just chose not to, and he was just allowed to reside here, I suppose, off the state for as long as he did. I don't know how, but and then from what I was getting at, this is how he repaid us as a country, to take one of our exemplary people. That
when you come to a country as a migrant or immigrant, you immigrate somewhere, you have to give back to the country. Arnold Schwarzenegger said it in a recent interview on The View. The same as The View in the UK, liberal. The View in the US is this liberal woke platform. You have to contribute to the society. Thank the country. Thank you for giving me opportunities. Thank you for helping me get better as a person. No, what does this guy do? This gypsy. He goes and he flipping kills one of our own. This is crazy. This is horrendous.
It's quite the opposite of what he was. That's what I was getting.
Well, I wanted to, I don't know if it's there, I think it is, but part of your statement literally said that.
Legend.
That, Ashling was a school teacher, literally worked for the state.
Educating the next generation.
Polar opposite of Joseph Puska.
Yeah.
And I took that to mean, well, exactly that. That's what you were saying. Here's somebody who came here in 2013, never contributed to society, didn't learn how to speak English, scrounged off the state. And then you have someone who is the exact polar opposite, had everything to contribute to society, and her life was just cut short by this monster. That's what you were saying, effectively.
Effectively, yes.
Unbelievable. I mean, he just cleared the room right there. That was, lads, that was phenomenal. He said, I have no issue saying that, he wasn't a native, not native at all. Joe, when you come to a place, guys, you have to contribute, you have to help people. He's not a native. Why is he here? What's going on? It's absolutely disgusting. How can this even happen? I would be asking questions. How is this allowed? How are we flipping allowed to bring people that kill our own? I hate the media as well. This guy that tried to interview him, whatever the hell his name is, the Shattered Lives, Paul Healy, little beta boy, trying to flip and catch him out and not push him back. It was just legendary, guys. I love to see that. Guys. I mean, it's just truly, truly remarkable. Truly remarkable, guys. The next kind of little picture we have, I'll just put it up here. Real News Era, shout out to him again, legend. It says Ryan Casey gave his first interview since winning the defamation case against BBC and Keely Holland. Number one, guys, in the interview, these are a few key points, few key takeaways. Casey met with Helen McEntee, to discuss, who knows, obviously safety in the state, She lied and claimed the sentences that she would pass legislation to judges so that they could pass down minimum sentences to killers like Pushka. So she lied. She said that they would pass legislation to make it easier to get rid of these people, deport people, all this kind of stuff. She lied. Of course she did. Of course. I mean, it's ridiculous. Number 2, Pushka is now being taught English at the expense of the Irish taxpayer. You all are paying for this asshole to flip and learn English. The guy doesn't even learn English. Matter of fact, I know actually a little bit about that. You know, on the trial, people were looking, they were looking for Slovakian translators, okay? You know, they were looking for translators to actually help this guy speak in court because he doesn't even speak a lick of English. Crazy. Number 3, his last meeting with Ashling was during COVID and he never got to say hello. They just locked eyes. I'm very sad, very emotional. Any Irish man, that just hits you right in the heart, guys. I mean, how can you not want to protect your own people? The women, this is innocent people, guys. Women and children, innocent, and they want to flip and take these people. I mean, that's an act of war, in my opinion. Trying to kill one of these women and children. I mean, that's like crazy. Number 4, Casey stands over his statement. I don't think there's a word of it that it was incitement to hatred or appealing to any of this far right stuff that everybody calls it, that has an opposing opinion. That's perfect. What he said there was perfect, guys. You know, he was saying that if you have an opposing opinion, they call you crazy, far right, conspiracy theory, you're a lunatic, you're this. Not at all, guys. You're just concerned with the country. Hey, what's going on with the borders? Who are all these random people on buses and boats coming into the country? It's just completely crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. They don't speak English. Who's going to hire these people? Like they don't flip and do anything. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then on top of it, my real beef as well. I mean, I have a beef with those people and also with the media. The media just shovels the shit on top of the people. They hate the people. They try and make this guy look like a lunatic, far right, he's crazy. First of all, there's no words in the English language that can affect me. So, you know, I'm a tough guy. Okay, I'm a tough guy. But this guy just had his girlfriend, his future wife, taken away from him. Could you imagine the trauma and distraught that this guy is experiencing, going through a death of a loved one, and also the media is calling him conspiracy theorist, crazy, lunatic, far right, adding to the flipping riots in Dublin, adding to flipping some sort of, I don't know, conservative movement that they don't like. I mean, it's crazy. They're putting him through mental stress that's unnecessary. You know, disgusting. Let me know your thoughts. Fuck the fucking media, guys. And I'll see you all. If you want to support me, actually, before I get to the end, if you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member. We have 11 members. Okay, new member today. So I really appreciate that. We're growing, guys. We're going to get so big that we blast all these stupid social media. Irish Mirror. They're small fish. They're small fry. We're a big fish over here on YouTube. We're going to smash all these little media platforms, guys. One day, we'll blast them all out the water. Until then, keep sharing these videos around, and I will see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.